Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix. I'm Benji Messer, music director. My pronouns are he, him. I'm pleased to have our choir with me today with pianist Arsen Nalbandian. Our hymn for November is Love Will Guide Us by Sally Rogers. Please rise in body or spirit, and let's sing that together. Here we go. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can hear from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Love will guide us. Peace has dried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. Thanks. All please remain standing for the chalice lighting.
Good morning. Good morning. I am Gary Ezzell. I am honored to be your worship associate this morning, and my pronouns are he and him. Join me as we recite our covenant, and Cabtree lights our chalice. If you're watching remotely and have a chalice with you, please light it with us. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to share our strength in fellowship. Thus do we covenant. Please be seated.
Good morning. Welcome home and welcome to worship. Welcome in love. I'm the Reverend Christine Dance. My pronouns are she and her, and it is an honor to serve as your minister. The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix strives to be a spiritual community for our time, one that is theologically diverse, radically inclusive, and justice-centered. If you are new here, we are so glad you found us and hope that in this community you can experience the warmth and love of this congregation. If you're new here this morning, would you like to raise your hand and just let us know that you are here? Welcome, welcome. We hope that you will get to know some of us and that we will get to know you. Note who raised their hands and who is truly new, and make sure you get to know them. Each Sunday is different here, so please come back a few times to really get to know us. Here at UUCP, we put our mission into action as we discover what it means to be human. I do have a few announcements for us today. First of all, we have a short but very important congregational meeting immediately following this, we have the tremendous opportunity to vote as a congregation to ordain our ministerial intern, Brigida Vieira, this afternoon. There's caveats and there's all these there's other pieces that we'll tell you about. It shouldn't stay long, but please stay afterwards. Everyone is welcome. Members of record can vote. I also want to tell you this is the first official service on our sermon series, and I want to recognize the beautiful chalice area here. So Georgia Hammond and Marlene Katz are self-determined inside decor folks, and we are so grateful that they said yes. So that each month we have a different principle. This month is love. We are talking about love today. Each one is going to have a different color, it's going to have a different design, and each month in the theme, we of course have a sermon on it or a whole service. We have an opening hymn. We just sang one about love. Our children's ministry programming will be focused on whatever the theme is. This month it's love. Our small groups will be talking about love. Our Share the Plate partner will be tied in to whatever the theme is. And we are also working at having some associated justice opportunities. So welcome to Love Month. And thank you, Marlene. And then I would like, can Mike Gaturna, can you stand up? And Bonnie White, can you stand up? And then we'll give an opportunity. So last Saturday was our congregation's auction. For the budget, we asked for $10,000. We were feeling optimistic, so a couple months ago we moved that up to 12, I think, Carol, right? Anyone want to guess? 18,000, 20? Oh, you all are adorable. The grand total raised last week was $25,500.05. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone who helped to make this possible. There still are more events. We can make that number go higher. It more than just the money, which gives us a huge cushion and just some space to breathe, which we are so grateful for. It was also a tremendous time of community and love and fellowship and fun. So thank you all very much. So, with that, so much love and excitement in our room, let us draw deeper into the present moment, deeper into beloved community, deeper into the spirit of love as we begin our service.
Join us as we explore the gift of liberating love. Our opening words are from Eric Williams from the UU congregation in Boulder, Colorado. We all emerge from, dwell within, and are transformed by and called back to love. May your mind be humbled by that mystery. May your heart grow hopeful within it. And may you be sustained by this love always. And now, I invite anyone who would like to come forward for our together time.
Hi, good morning. How are you all? It's really, really good to see you this morning. So I have a question for you. How many of you have ever baked anything? Oh, you have. What kinds of things have you baked?
Flourless chocolate cake with raspberry sauce.
Flourless chocolate cake with raspberry sauce. Just last night? And we don't get any? Oh, okay. All right, that's okay. Phil, enjoy that for us. We're not jealous at all. Yes, Jez.
Jera and I used the oven here yesterday to bake brownies for an event.
Jera and Jez used the oven here yesterday to bake brownies for an event here. That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, Bela, have you made something?
I made ice cream bread.
Ice cream bread? It's still, everyone's Googling that now. Yes, what did you make? Cookies, brownies, and cake, they're all together? Oh, okay, but separate. Oh, that sounds awesome. Like, it's not? Well, I mean, you just, when it falls apart, you just go, I meant to do it like that. And then it's gonna fall apart anyway, right, when we eat it? Yeah, what did you make? Sugar cookies and pancakes. Yum. Yeah. Peyton, what did you make? Pumpkin chocolate chip muffins. I am sure they sound amazing. And Alice, did you say that you made something? What have you made? Cookies? Cookies and waffles. Yum. Well, you all are very good at making things. So when you are making something, we usually, sometimes, unless you're really, really good, we follow a what? A recipe. And we're going to kind of talk about a recipe today, because today what we're talking about is love. So love is a really, really big word. And in many languages, they have multiple words for love. We just have one, but it's really too big of a concept to talk about with just one word. So we're going to talk about today, what I want to think about are what are some of the items or the components or the elements that would go into a recipe for love. And then there's a little surprise for you, because we're going to make our own recipe for love. So what's an element, what's a component of love, you think? Family could be. Yeah, yeah. Bela, what's another one?
Friends.
Friends, good. And there could be, so these are people, but there could also be different types of feelings, like there could be compassion or forgiveness. Yes, Christian?
Respect.
Respect, yes. Trust, wonderful. Yeah, so respect, I'm trying to remember all these because I'm gonna have to write them down. Yes? Boundaries, nice. I love this. Good, yeah, Brigitte. Patience, very nice. Listening, good. Yes? Thoughtfulness. All of these you need, kind of like how you need for something, or it can taste bitter, or you definitely, in a lot of these things you made, you need some sugar, or else it's going to taste really bad, right? So you need some of all of these things. You need thoughtfulness, you need respect, you need boundaries, you need trust, right? So I have some things so that we can make our own love right here. So now, before we go, like if there's any parents that say they can't have sugar or chocolate, and Katie will probably say this is a terrible idea, you should never.
All of these kids are amazing about balancing out their own boundaries and bodies, and their parents just guided them how to deal with
Wonderful.
it.
Good.
And you get to share it with someone else, you get to share your own.
So if you know that you can't, for your own body sense, can't have chocolate or sugar, then please make reasonable choices. I have chocolate and non-chocolate options up here. So, but what you're going to do is we're going to have a little bag, and this is going to be your love, right? And then we need to figure out what the ingredients that go on. So I heard respect. I heard boundaries. I just have to wait while I write. I heard trust. I heard family. What else did I hear? Thoughtfulness?
Friends.
Yep, friends. I think I got respect. Patience. What's that? Conscientiousness. Nope, not going to do it. No, just not, no. There's too many I-N-Cs and E's and nope. And there was one more, yes?
The funniest ones we forgot, listening.
Listening! See, that's perfect, because I clearly wasn't listening enough. Listening.
Hugs.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, humor is another one. Humor is always a good part of love, and remembering that. So what I'm going to invite you all to do while we transition to the next piece is taking turns and making sure you respect spaces. Come up and get your bag and make a recipe of love with all of these that you wish. And thank you for helping us break down this very big topic of love, and so that we can look at it with more dimension. I really appreciate you all. So come on up. Gabby, you want to get us started? Gather around the table. Make your love. Yeah, just grab enough of what you want, the different pieces. This is why
they are gathering their packets of love, we get to show our love in a slightly different way. Each week, we practice generosity as a source of joyful living by splitting our offering with UUCP and a local organization that shares our values. For November 2023, our Share the Plate partner is Desert Star Family Planning. The mission of Desert Star Family Planning is to promote the health and well-being of their patients and community by providing just, dignified, and exceptional care. They are a steadfast resource for comprehensive family planning and sexual health care. Our Share the Plate team chose them for November because their mission directly connects to the petitions that we are collecting for safe and legal abortions. For all that you give, we are so grateful. Ushers, thank you for helping us pass the plate.
Thank you, Arson. It is part of our community to make time to share the joys and sorrows of our lives together. Whether you come to this service with laughter in your heart or tears, all of who you are is loved and you matter. If you are on Zoom and would like to share a joy or sorrow, please type it into the chat, brief note what's on your heart, and there are cards in the back that you can fill out before service. And just a little note about joys and sorrows is they've become a little amorphous. So my notes from your dance partner in this week's compass will have some gentle guidelines for joys and sorrows going forward. Let us open our hearts and settle our bodies as we have this sacred time to amplify our joys and share our sorrows with community care. Let us just take a moment to still ourselves. We have 2 from Mixed Jazz. One is, Jez was Volunteer of the Month at my kids' school this fall. I also got to chaperone 2 field trips. Great to have such an awesome school for my daughter. So glad. I know what a blessing you are to them. And also Jez says that Tom Horn is suing schools across Arizona for dual language learning programs. And that they are organizing, and if you want to learn more about how to support that, you can contact Jez. And yes, Kathy Kim says, we are so excited because the Maryland school received a grant for their new garden teacher to have more hours at school. This is going to allow them to spend more time with teachers, helping them to plan how to bring students to the garden, all kinds of activities that connect what they're learning in all subject areas. Along with the very generous contribution from UUCP, September Share the Plate, Maryland School Outdoor Education Program is moving forward. Thank you to all of you who volunteer at Maryland School. How many of you volunteer at Maryland School? It's a huge number of folks in our congregation. From Amy Miskell says, joy, as we approach Thanksgiving, I want you all to know how so thankful I can still attend UUCP via Zoom. Thank you to every single one of you that makes that possible. It means a lot. And there is a direct message to me here. They'll have to let me know if that's something that you want to be said out loud or not. You can let me know about that. Anything else here? As we hold these joys and sorrows in our heart, I invite our ministerial intern, Brigida Vieira, to come up and lead us in a meditation.
Good morning. Good morning. Together, we are going to settle into our bodies into a meditation of self-love. I invite you now, you can keep your eyes open or soften your gaze. Take in your surroundings. Notice the space you are in. Create a sense of safety wherever you are. And now together we're going to take a collective breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling again. And now with this exhale, notice your body. Feel your abdomen rising and falling. Offer a moment of love to your body as you inhale and exhale. Soften your eyebrows. Unclench your jaw. And release any tension that you may feel in your shoulders. This time right here is just for you. A time to show up just as you are. Connecting to the wisdom of your body, connecting to the stability of the earth beneath your feet. In this moment, we are going to open ourselves up to receiving love. There is nothing you need to add or subtract, no way you need to be, because right here and right now, you are worthy, you are loved, and you are so lovable. Take another deep breath in. And on the exhale, bring to mind a part of you that has been hard to embrace, a part of you that you find to be difficult. And on that exhale, let that part of you reveal itself to you. Imagine this part of you is sitting in front of you, and notice the way that you are holding you in a warm glow of supportive, passionate presence. Another breath in, exhaling back out. As you breathe in and out, notice this part of you and silently repeat these loving offerings. You are valuable. You have a home here. You are loved. I invite you to take another deep breath in, one back out, and silently say these words to yourself. I am valuable. I have a home here. I am loved. Relax into this moment of sacred, loving connection to yourself and just breathe. Take a moment to thank that part of you for showing up today. Take a moment to feel the comfort of compassionate love surround you, radiating inward and outward with each breath. And now you can gently open your eyes, return your gaze to this space. With this blessing. May this gentleness of self-love continue to wash over you with ease. Amen. Blessed be.
One of the stories in Kipling's The Jungle Book is called The White Seal. And in that story is a poem titled Seal Lullaby, which has been set to music here by Eric Whitaker. I hear in it the gentleness of love, the love of a mother seal for her pup, maybe, or maybe the love of the ocean itself. The poem reads, "Oh, hush thee, my baby. The night is behind us. and black are the waters that sparkled so green. The moon o'er the combers looks downward to find us at rest in the hollows that rustle between. Where billow meets billow, there soft be thy pillow. Ah, weary wee flipperling, curl at thy ease. The storm shall not wake thee, nor shark overtake thee, asleep in the arms of the slow swinging seas.
Benji. Thank you. I grew up in a Protestant congregation, Presbyterian specifically. My family was active. I went through the church school and went through confirmation class when I was 13. But I soon began to question. I valued all of the ethics and the moral teachings of the church, but I came to believe that what we said in the Apostles' Creed every day when we stood up about the incarnation and the virgin birth and the resurrection was basically a mythology, and for me the words were empty. As I continued to grow, I would occasionally, as the decades went by, try again because I missed church. I missed the weekly challenge to examine my life and try to grow into being a better person. I missed the singing. Fortunately, in my late 40s, back in Detroit, a coworker who knows me well suggested that I try a Unitarian congregation. And so eventually I gathered my courage and I walked into the Birmingham Unitarian Church in Birmingham, Michigan, outside of Detroit. I see Bonnie nodding. She was there also. And by the end of that first service, I realized this is where I belong. These are my people. This is my home. 2 years later, we moved to Arizona, and so I came here. And so here I am. and here you are. Well, thank you for that. Now, our service here follows a format that's very similar to the standard Protestant order of service that I'm familiar with. Every week we stand up, but instead of saying the Apostles' Creed or the Nicene Creed or any kind of creed, we say our covenant, which starts off, love is the doctrine of this congregation. And each week we have visitors who, like me, 20-odd years ago, got their gumption up and walked into a room, a building where they had never been, and into a room full of people that they don't know. This is not an easy thing to do. You don't do it unless you're looking for something, unless something inside you is really causing you to take that step. So I think to myself, if I, when I was in my 40s or 20s or 30s or whatever, walked into UUCP and I heard these words, love is the doctrine of this congregation, and heard that love is the center of our principles, how would I know, how would I judge if those words are meaningful or are they empty? And I think the way I would judge would be to ask myself the question, did anyone speak to me? Did anyone ask me about me? Or was I left alone? So how should we show the love that we say is at the center of our being? Well, you know the answer of what I'm getting to. You talk to people, right? Imagine being a visitor and you've come in here. How would you make that judgment? Well, the best time to do this, people, the best time to do this is before service, right? There's time, and that's when first impressions are made. But really, if love is at the center, then anyone who has come in, bringing us the gift of themselves, then they should always feel by direct experience our gratitude for that gift. And after 20-odd years, I know that the words of our covenant are not empty. So please make the effort. Continue the conversation later, but start early. And for heaven's sakes, don't wait for coffee hour. That's asking them to make the next step of walking out to where they know nobody. This is our job to make our people feel welcome. So please, let's do that. That's the paradox of love, If you want it, you have to give it away. And I can sense, because this was in my mind also multiple times, a certain reluctance. He's asking me to talk to people I don't know. Yeah, I understand. I've felt that multiple times. But really, it isn't that hard. But if it does feel hard, that's okay. That's what principles are for, right? Principles are useful when they're hard to follow. That's the point. And really, folks, talking to people is not so hard. These are interesting people, as are the rest of us. And this applies not only to visitors, but anyone else in the room that you don't know, right? So, if love is at the center, let's make it real. Turn around, we're sitting in the back.
You say your heart's been turned to stone. You say you want to be left alone. You say love only made you weep and moan. Well, let me tell you something that you know in your bones. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the power that won't be stopped. Love is the water that wears down the rock.
You say your soul's like a dry riverbed. Stop waiting for the water long ago. You said you better pray all night for the rain instead. Love comes like a tidal wave over your head.
Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the power that won't be stopped. Love is the water that wears down the rock. You say waiting for love takes too long, dulls a sharp mind and weakens the strong. Well, you may be right, but you may be wrong, 'cause love can make a mountain come tumbling down. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the power that won't be stopped. Love is the water that wears down the rock.
The river washes over every woman and man, feet in the gravel and the mud in your hands. Nothing can stand against love's command. Every boulder turns into a grain of sand.
Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the power that won't be stopped. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the water that wears down the rock. Love is the power that won't be stopped. Love is the water that wears down the rock.
Crabtree and Susan Finney, right? Susan Finney on the solos.
Preach it, choir. We are talking about love. Love. Just love. Side with love. Choose love. Love over hate. Easy, right? It's easy. Just love. Just go out, love, right? It's anything but easy. It is profound, it is challenging. It has been deeply heretical in our history. It is important. It is the center of our faith. In my sermon series this year, we are exploring the Unitarian Universalist revised principles of our faith. There are 6 principles and one that resides in the center of all of them: love. The principles state, the beginning of it, as Unitarian Universalists, we draw from our heritages of freedom, reason, hope, and courage, building on the foundation of love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. The spiritual discipline of love. If that's not a charge, I don't know what is. Now, I could never cover everything that needs to be said about love in one sermon, but I am going to encourage us to go deeper into our faith and explore what this love thing is from a theological faith and belief perspective. It's important to know that this is not a new concept. The roots of Unitarian Universalism are in love. For those who don't know, Unitarian Universalism comes from 2 different traditions, Unitarianism and Universalism. That's how we got that long name. I have been known to reduce the 2 threads of our faith to some very basics. Unitarians believed that there wasn't a trinity, that we are all one. And Universalists believe in universal salvation, that God was love. So let's unpack the Universalism one a little bit. Universalists were the first ones to say, wait, so only Christians go to heaven? That just doesn't seem right. They believed in a loving and caring God. They believed specifically that this loving God would not let anyone go to hell. They believed that love was powerful, more powerful than death. So imagine being in that faith, and if you weren't worried about this afterlife, you could spend more time embracing the tenets of love in this lifetime. They believed that it was their duty to replicate this love on earth. Some call this bringing heaven to earth. I've heard some reduce our Universalist ancestors saying that they loved the hell out of this world. My colleague, Reverend Susan Smalley, tells a story about Hosea Ballou, a major theologian of early 19th century Universalism. He was traveling through the New Hampshire hills with a Baptist preacher, and they were arguing theology as they traveled, as we are wont to do. At one point, the Baptist looked over and said, "Brother Ballou, if I were a Universalist and feared not the fires of hell, I could hit you over the head, steal your horse and saddle, and ride away, and I'd still go to heaven." Hosea Ballou looked over him and said, "If you were a Universalist, that idea would never occur to you." The idea would never occur to you if you believed at your very core that all of us were loved, all of us are worthy, it would never occur to us to hurt one another. Cameron Trimble, a congregational entrepreneur, believes that this is the role of the congregation, to practice this love. She says that congregations are at their best schools of love, places where we can be with each other, who make us more compassionate, generous, peace-filled, and kind, where we practice those things that our children named, all of it, as we develop this sense of love. I'm going to dig into 3 aspects of love at the center of our principles today as we dig further into how our faith unites us. These might be things that you need to hear, but honestly, this was the sermon I needed to preach for myself. I hope you benefit from it as well. One is that love is a collective, not a solitary act. The second is that love over hate is not enough. And third is how love as the center of our faith is still a revolutionary, even heretical act. So first of all, let's look at that love is a collective, not a solitary act. I can only think of 2 kinds of love that can be done in a solitary way, although I'd argue that they still involve others, which is feeling love for yourself or love for nature or the environment. Those you can do on your own, but really, ultimately, they usually involve someone else too. Every other kind of love, romantic love, friendship love, community love, justice love, requires other human beings in order to fulfill it. This necessitates some kind of relationship or community in order to practice it. It is just another reason that having a community is so critical to both our faith and our spiritual practices. Reverend Kathleen McTeague, the retired director of the UU College of Social Justice, says, "Fear's pronoun is singular. I've got to watch out for me and mine. Love's pronoun is plural. We're in this together, and together we can grow things that will blossom even in a time of drought." The second point is that choosing love over hate is not enough. How many of you know HRC, Human Rights Committee? They've got great t-shirts. Great t-shirts, great caps. They've all got slogans that say love over hate in different ways, or the statement, love wins. It feels like an obvious statement for many of us. And I'm not saying it's not true, but I think we need to push beyond that, because love and hate are binaries that divide us. Wendell Berry, an American novelist, poet, and activist, wrote a wonderful essay that I found because of Brigida. Thank you so much. For Plow Quarterly magazine, said, "Can love take sides?" He finds it problematic to divide our culture into those who love and those who hate. He talks specifically about us liberal folks who are on the side of love and the state of our divisive country right now. Barry says, "Because the confrontation is between 2 categories of people who do not know each other, it will be easy for the side of love first to understand love merely as opposite and opposed to hate, and then generalize this opposition as an allegorical battle of love versus hate, exchanging slogan for slogan, gesture for gesture, shout for shout. Then if nature and the rule of battle go unchecked, the side of love begins to hate the side of hate. Just so, love that hates cancels itself. It cannot survive its hatred of hate any more than one can survive minus one. It is no more. That pushed all my buttons. I want my love to be as simple as hating the haters. Simple. Here's the haters. I don't like them. Love wins. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't not like when there's hate. Just to be clear, we cannot condone hateful actions, but it does mean that we have to see love as more than a category that some fit in and others don't. It means that we have to look at the whole world as love. We have to have love as the lens for how we see that world. Barry continues, "It seems natural to me to think that there is a law of love operating in this world. If you see the world's goodness and beauty, and if you love your own place in it, then your love itself will be one of your life's greatest rewards." We need to see love and goodness all around us. We need to work from a default place of love. We need to catch ourselves when we feel like we are better peddlers of love than other people are. Love is available to everyone and everything. Finally, I want to posit that despite all the slogans, having love at the center of our faith is still a revolutionary, even a heretical act. I will posit the world cannot have justice, freedom, or peace without love. I believe that it is not possible to kill or oppress others if you are truly, deeply connected to that deep and abiding love of the universe or in our fellow humans. Love is the heart of our faith. It is a force that is stronger than any of us individually. It is a deep, abiding love that affirms our worthiness and our dignity no matter what. It is a love that says no matter what we achieve or say or believe or do, and we like to achieve and do in this group, right? No matter what, we are loved. It is a love that holds us together as interdependent. It is a love that brings hope and joy and connection and peace. For some of us, love is the divine, a love that holds us both tenderly and fiercely. For others, we find it in ourselves and each other and in the universe around us. For some outside of Unitarian Universalism and other liberal faiths, believing in this power of love without the pronouncement of a single Savior or God is absolutely heretical. I'm glad to embrace that title, especially if it means spreading more of that love. I find it a source of hope, but also of courage and commitment, and I don't believe we can liberate ourselves or each other without it. Love is at the center of my faith. I wish to proclaim that from the rooftops. I want it to challenge me to live more fully into that power of love each and every day. I will never be done practicing it. Love at the center gives me hope that we can overcome strife and support each other, that we can work for justice, and I believe that we can actually change the world through the simple and incredibly hard work of actively loving the hell out of this world. May it be so for you as well.
Thank you, Christine. Our closing song is Olam Chesed Yibaneh, which means build the world with love. It's a peace song. It's been used for many years as a prayer for peace and justice in Israel-Palestine, which, you know, if you want to work on an area where it's hard to keep in mind that everybody is worthy and loved, no matter what, a war is a big challenge, right? So it starts with just ooze, just to hear this. 1, 2. Ooh, yada die, 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 die. Try that with us. Ooh, yada die, 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 die. And then it goes up. Ooh, yada die, 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 die. Here's the Hebrew. Olam chesed yibaneh, yada die, 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 die. Olam chesed yibaneh, yada die, 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 die. Olam chesed yibaneh, yada die. Get the English lyrics up there. Here we go. I will build this world from love. Yada die, 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 die. And you must build this world from love. Yada die, 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 die. And if we build this world from love, yada die, 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 then God will.